So here is the question from Jason Beatty. He said, I had something that doesn't happen too often just happen. A lead I've been speaking with over the last few weeks, just waiting for their house to be ready before setting an appointment, asked me my rate in a text message. How do you recommend handling it? And there's several parts to this question. So one, he's been talking to a seller lead, and apparently they've had a good conversation. I'm assuming, obviously, he has not gone and done a listing appointment yet. He said, I'm waiting until the house is ready to set an appointment. So one, I would go ahead and set an appointment. If they're motivated and if they're selling, I would go out and set an appointment before they get the house ready, because you can go ahead and get the listing and you can then advise them or have your stager advise them on what to put into the house so that they get the most bang for the buck. You can also start your pre-marketing campaign, again, assuming they have the motivation. So that's first step. Number two is, how do you handle pre-listing objections? And when you're in a text conversation, it's harder to handle objections because there's too much time for them to calculate their responses, and you're not in a conversation of where you can lead people to a decision. So it tends to be less productive. So when you're in a process of leading people to a decision, you want to be in a conversation, not in a chat. So when you're texting, people have too much time to think. They have too much time to build their case, and you can't hear what they're not saying. So there's just the ability to influence and persuade is dramatically decreased when you're in a text message conversation. So you want to get onto a live conversation. How I would handle this immediately is, if they text them, what is your rate? I would immediately call them. Okay. If they don't answer, I'd leave a message, say, hey, Jason, Kevin Ward here. Just got your text about my rate. I'm assuming you're talking about commission. So give me a call when you get a chance and we'll discuss it, or we can just wait till we get together and we'll go over all the numbers and all of that when we meet. So give me a call back and we'll talk soon. That's the first way I would handle it. The second thing is just in handling the objection, or the third thing rather, is how do you handle the objection itself? So now we're having a conversation. How do we handle the objection of what is your rate before we do it? Now, there's a couple ways you can handle it. One, very simple, is great question, and obviously we'll go over the commissions and all the numbers, including commission and everything, when we get together. Fair enough? Most of the time, that will handle the objection. If they insist on knowing, say, great question, I charge, there's two ways you can do it. And I've got a couple of objection handlers that I have used and that my coaching members are using. One is the most bold. The most bold one is simply to say, I charge 6%. Is that a deal breaker? Now, whether it's 6%, 7%, 5%, whatever your number is, I charge X. Is that a deal breaker? And then when they respond, now you have the opportunity to go with that conversation of, well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for cheap, I'm not your agent. If you're looking for the most money in your pocket, then we should have a conversation, because what I do is I get sellers more money for their house. What I don't do is I don't do it for cheap. Okay, another way that you can handle it is and this is in the book of Yes Scripts, so they say, how much is your commission? You just kind of chuckle and go, well, it's a lot. In fact, it's probably the most expensive, I'm probably the most expensive agent you're going to talk to. Can I tell you why? Okay, because I get my sellers more money in their pocket than other agents can do. Now, if you're looking for cheap, I'm probably not your agent. If you're looking for the agent that gets you the most money in your pocket, then we got something to talk about. Fair enough? So this is how you handle the commission objection when it's when it comes up pre-listing. These are different approaches. You want to get into a live conversation with them. The more engaged you are in a conversation, face-to-face is best. On the phone is second best. Text message, a bad way to handle objections. So how are you handling your objections, and where are you weak and need to strengthen yourself in your objection handling? Think about it. Let me know. We'll talk soon.